Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about moon trine or sextile to Neptune in the birth chart. So this aspect, if I could describe it with one word, or these two aspects, is dreamy. These people have a very dreamy energy, and we wouldn't always talk about the moon as representing like what our appearance is physically, but I do feel that the moon represents our aura because the emotional energy, which is represented by the moon, our emotions, our instinctual emotional self, our inner child, our upbringing, our mother. So it's a very deep part of us, right? And it's a big part of our emotional field, which makes our aura. So these people have a very dreamy aura. There's something very otherworldly about them. And they do tend to have a really, I wouldn't say powerful energy because it's not like a Pluto type of energy, but there's just something so otherworldly about them that draws people in, and people tend to notice that they seem open, they seem warm, they seem kind, and this is all true, they are. So there's a real dreamy energy with people with the moon trine or sextile Neptune. There also can be great artistic ability, and it's actually quite likely that if they're not doing something artistic or creative for their day-to-day life or even their work, or if there's not some way for them to express that side of them, they will be emotionally unfulfilled. They need life to be like a movie. They need life to be, romantic and beautiful and like heaven on earth. And I really think a part of their energy field and their unique emotional energy is to help anchor the frequency of heaven on earth to this planet. So they're like the hard aspects of Moon Neptune. They're very sensitive to the environment that they're in, and it is crucial to um, make their home environment very sacred to them, very peaceful to them. But there's more ease in doing this than with the hard aspects. And, there is still great empathy and sensitivity to other people's energies. So, still having some sort of practice at the end of the day where you're, setting the intention to clear all of the energies that you've picked up during the day, that are negative or not for your highest good. And you're just kind of like washing yourself. I mean, if you live by the ocean or you live by water, going in that a lot and imagining just clearing energies from your field is a really good idea, because you're still going to pick things up with these aspects, but there's more of a likelihood that you're going to be able to clear things more naturally and not get as confused about what energy is yours, although that still could happen. So it's a really good idea to bring awareness to the sensitivity, because when you're walking around with this trine, and you're so sensitive, and if you don't know this, you don't know astrology, I mean, this could still manifest like the hard aspects. There could still be depression, there could still be psychic attack, there could still be incredible fluctuations in your emotional state depending on your environment and how negative it is. So it's like with the trine specifically, there's a real natural sensitivity. The sextile, it takes a little bit more work to attain it, but then also it's more conscious to you. So there's more likelihood with the trine to actually get caught up in addictions and to still be a bit, confused in your energy, because it's just such a natural part of you. The sextile is more like we're more conscious that we have some spiritual ability there, or we have some ability to kind of like, Moon Neptune is real, like being able to flow in your environment and with your emotions, and using your emotions to create as well can be a gift here. But yeah, like I've said, all Moon Neptune aspects, even these ones, you really want to be aware that your field, your energy is very sensitive psychically. And I would advise, even with the trine or sextile, to try to be as sober or as pure as you possibly can as far as indulging in substances that are going to alter your emotional state or your mental state or your energetic state, because there's still a tendency to have escapism. And sometimes, even with the trine or the sextile, because they can be a bit more lazy, you might get caught up in addictions or negative patterns without even realizing that you're doing it as a form of escapism. So it's like these gifts can be wasted if we go down that path, right? But there is still there's such a intuitive ability here that, like, not that I think you'll get too far off the path, but it's something to be aware of when your energy field is that open as it is with these aspects. So, yeah, what else do I want to say about this? There can be musical ability here, and that's a really good idea to focus on these kind of subtle energies, like things that cannot be understood with science or the intellect. This is where the moon Neptune aptitudes really lie, is things that can only be felt through the heart and through the soul. And creating some sort of personal sanctuary, like where you're playing music, or you're creating art, or you're doing some sort of energy work, all of this is going to really contribute to a beautiful energy that you will emanate to the outer world. And that energy, like when you're in that passion and purpose, is going to be so powerful and draw everything you need to you. And that's something that can be said about these aspects, the trine or sextile of moon Neptune, is that you always have what you need with these aspects. There's a real effortless ability, like I said, to manifest with moon trine or sextile Neptune, because you're able to be in the flow, and your emotions, rather than hindering you, actually aid you in your manifestations. So quite likely, and this could change if you have other harsh aspects to your moon, but with an aspect like moon trine or sextile to Neptune, it's quite likely that the upbringing, there was something about it that was wholesome or somehow brought peace to the individual. The mother, maybe she was kind, maybe she was sensitive, maybe she was compassionate, or you experienced her as that. And that internal experience, maybe the experience even in your mother's womb, or was like more favorable than others without these aspects. There's a real gift with the mother bond here. And if it's not with the actual physical mother, there is a bond with feminine energy. There's a bond with the mother aspect of God herself. And that's one of the gifts of the moon trine or sextile Neptune, is actually a very feminine energy you have. And there's gifts with women. There's gifts with nurturing women. There's gifts with having like a higher frequency of feminine energy that's very nurturing, very giving, very compassionate, very all-encompassing. Now that can be taken too far. You can still see with these aspects being overly mothering or overly nurturing or overly willing to see things from the other's point of view, right? So we have some very open-hearted, compassionate people here. So it can be taken too far, of course. Everything that's a trine, or especially the trine, but also the sextile, can always be like taken too far, that it then isn't a gift anymore, right? So it's like, and it's same thing with like a square too. It's like everything that is perceived negatively there, it could actually turn out to be a positive gift. So it's like the most important thing is like what planets are being aspected. But I mean, it is true that it's much easier to deal with these aspects than the harsh ones, but they still have their difficulties, because Neptune is not a personal energy. Neptune is not of this world, right? So when you have an attunement to Neptune, even in a trine, you're going to feel out of place here. You're going to feel like this world is too harsh. It's disgusting in ways, like, and you have to really cultivate a rich inner world that can be your sanctuary in this world, because you're here for a reason, you're here with purpose, you're here to, like I said, anchor these higher frequency energies. And if you just focus on all of that, if you watch the news, if you know, that is going to just debilitate you, even with the trine and the sextile of moon Neptune. So yeah, what else do I want to say here? Beautiful gift. It's a beautiful gift to have this. Like I said, the mother relationship, there was gain through this. There was, and even if there's other harsh aspects to the moon, you have to look at everything, right? There's still, with this trine or this sextile, there was a spiritual bond there. And yeah, I think that having some form of creativity in your life is a must. Having some sort of practice to clear energies is also really key. And also, you know, even though there's a gift with people, this is a more introverted placement. And, you know, a lot of it is because of that sensitivity and because of that knowing that you don't want to take on other people's stuff. So, you know, giving yourself the time and space to just be alone and enjoy that. I'm sure you enjoy that. But also recognizing that you do have a real gift for people because of your kindness, because of your good-heartedness. And you might end up doing some form of like charity work or like service work. And that would be a really good use of this too. But it is a more introverted energy. It is a more even reclusive kind of energy. All moon Neptune aspects are. But so allowing yourself that time, and like I said, I keep saying about the sanctuary, like creating that for yourself. And then when you have that at home, it's so crucial that the home life is soothing to you. When you have that, you're going to be, you know, so much more able to go out there into the world and emit these high frequency energies and these beautiful, all encompassing unconditional love mother energies, which is what you have with the trine or sextile of moon to Neptune. And like I said, the difference is not much, but the trine is a lot more natural and more powerful. It's just completely embedded in you, these energies. The sextile, it's like there's an awareness of it, like, oh, I might have a gift here. So you might actually be more active with the sextile with all of this, but it just takes a little bit of work, right? The sextile is also more social in general. It's more of a people-y aspect. So the trine might be even more introverted when you have the trine between moon and Neptune. So I'd love to know your experience of these aspects. If you have either one, how has it been for you? I'd love to know. And thank you so much for your requests, you guys. Thank you for keeping those requests coming, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.